We're back in for our holds and sells for NRL Fantasy in round 5, and I thought I'd separate it. Let me know if you liked the all buys, the guys that, there's lots of them that you can purchase at all different prices. Let me know what you thought of that one, and if you then like this combination of video as well with the holds and the sells. And we're going to kick it off with the people on buy. There's 4 of them: Fisher, Harris, Barnett. We have Erin Clark, and we have Luke Metcalf on the number here. Before we get into some of the guys that could potentially be holds, you could sell them. Lots of different options with these players. But Fisher Harris is 642. I've seen him in trades plans for round 5, and I don't like it. There's a few reasons for it. He's priced at 48, and he's gone under that number once, and it was by 1 last week. The other 3 games, he's gone above that number. He's averaging 3.5 points more than where you've got him at. And as we saw with guys like McInnes last week, if you use him to upgrade to, Payne Haas or Cleary or whoever else you go to, this guy could easily come out and do a great job that week or the following week. Obviously with Fish, he's got the bye this week, but he could come out next week and hit a 55 or score a 70 with the try, play some more minutes. There's heaps of different things that could happen, and that's where I personally have him as a pretty clear hold. And I think you could find other guys in your team, either this week or the following week or the week after, that are probably going to peak. They're probably not a 50-plus scorer. They might be like a 43 guy or a 45 guy, like Gilbert, Nicholson, all these types of players, Seyfarth, that could be in that 40s rather than that 50s. And Fish isn't done with making any, his full amount of cash yet. And if there's injuries in game, if Barnett goes down, they've just lost Dylan Walker as well. The minutes should be there for Fish, and I think he'll continue to score well. So I have him as a clear hold. He'll need to have big games against Melbourne and the Broncos in the next couple of weeks, where I think he makes big run meters, big tackle numbers, and when he's on the park, he's dominant. His PPM this year is just spectacular. When you're looking at 2025, it's all the way up at a 1.01. So that's, if he can manage 50 minutes in some games, he'll go up and hit these mid-50s in the closer to 60-minute games. So he's a hold for me, but that's just me. You can decide what you please on that one. Mitch Barnett, 635. Now, I think he's the sell. If you're going to sell anyone around this price point, he's the guy that just isn't scoring well enough. His minutes aren't great. He's had 3 games near 50 and 1 at 62. But even when he got the 62 minutes, he didn't do anything in them. He's had 4 tackle breaks. I think Fish looks way better than him. And there's heaps of guys at prices cheaper than this, more expensive than this, that should score better than him for the foreseeable future, and he doesn't play this week and can't help you out with that, unfortunately, and make it look a little bit better this week. Erin Clark at 501k. He's someone that I think is a pretty clear hold. He was on 56 and downgraded to 50, but did get the extra minutes, and he was a little beneficiary of Dylan Walker leaving this side. He picked up 4 tackle breaks, which is highest of the year, and 2 offloads, and run meters are really nice as well. And his lowest this year is 130 run meters. So that's great news for Clark. And you've had 3 games in a row now where 40 has been his lowest. So I do expect him to have a decent amount of value. And if he can get close to the 50 minutes, I'm seeing sort of a mid-40s, like a 45 to a 50 average, and is someone that you could easily hold for a good stretch of time now. Post this bye, they don't miss another game till round 15. So he could do a great job for you in hooker and can cover in mids as well, but you probably don't need that dual as much as you need that hooker. So Erin Clark, a clear hold and a potential buy over the next few weeks if you're down in the hooking stocks and like Riley Smith doesn't end up with that perfect role. Luke Metcalf, for 85k, this is the perfect week to jump off from Metcalf. They come into Melbourne and Broncos the following 2 weeks. He's priced at 36 now, and I probably see him as an early 40s guy at max. Just the way he's playing. If they continue to play well, then sure, he could be a mid-40s guy. But in the 3 games they've won, he's gone 64, 27, and 48 for an average there in that mid-40s, which is fine. But there's other guys that are hitting that number that are priced a lot less right now, and he's very, very inconsistent, having 2 20s already. It just depends when you catch him. Like, he could go for a few low ones in those weeks when you own him and then go well against, Newcastle or Cowboys or something like that. But can you wait that long? And is the value going to be there? if he goes for those couple of low ones. He could come out and do well, but I don't think we'll get too many games like round 2 for him going forward. And the kick meters last week are at 240, so that didn't even help him either. Missed tackle numbers, actual makes, he's gone 9 and 9 twice and 18 in the other 2, so it's not like he's going to be a 20-plus tackler guy either. So you can use him as a loop this week. You could use him to sell as well, either way with Luke Metcalf. Tommy Gilbert, similar situation. You can use him as a loop this week, and then he comes into Penrith and Melbourne, who we know have some tremendous outside backs and tremendous edges as well. And if he's playing left edge, he may go back to 13, he may go to prop, we don't know at this point, but left edge up against, Fafita, he's missing this week, sorry, up against guys like Liam Martin, Isaac Tungo, Cleary on that side. Then it's Eli Katoa the following week, Will Warbrick, these types of guys running back at him. It's a pretty tough one, to be honest, and I can see him, if he's not a sell this week, you could hold the following week and see. Hopefully doesn't miss 10 tackles again. He went 3-2-3, which isn't too bad, but the run meters are under 100. The tackle breaks and offloads are not there. He's not that guy. You need him to be a 40-plus tackle guy, but actually only missing a couple. And that's where it just hasn't happened for him in the last few weeks. And that's the frustrating thing. When you can go up to these guns, you can go down to cheapies and mid-rangers like Wong, Kant, these types of guys. He's an easy sell this week, but he's also an easy hold as well. To loop, see how things go in that first game, and make your decisions following that. Yongi. He's next up on the sell list for people. Gilbert was number 1. Yongi was number 2. Priced at 26. And they come up against the Dragons this week. Into Canberra, into Tigers. And I think you can easily hold him. I think you can easily sell him as well. With a high score of 33. He hasn't hit anywhere near the heights of last year's one game in round 22. Where he picked up 8 tackle breaks and 256 metres. He runs a footy plenty. And that's the big win from this man. He is going to get the odd tackle break. He only missed 1 last week, which is good because it was a slightly closer game. The attacking stats will come at some point. He's had 1 try assist, 1 try. But can you trust him to play on a weekly basis? It's probably a no. I think this week will be an easier one. I was listening to a Supercoach pod, and Random Stats guy was talking about how many points they have given up to fullbacks. And they're on a decent list there for fullbacks, which is good for Yongi, but from fantasy, he hasn't gone over 33. It's hard to play him, so he's probably a guy that you'd likely leave out of your side this week, to be honest with you. But you could play him, and he could do a solid enough job. It's making me think my bench right now, or if I do keep Yongi in that setup. Sandon Smith at 380k can easily be a hold, can easily be a sell. But if you're looking at his price point of 28, he's gone over that in 3 out of the 4 occasions. And last week, he was on 21 at halftime or close to it, and then had a fall-away game. It's up against Rabbitohs this week. I think you can definitely hold, but when it's Broncos and Penrith the following 2, that's where you could look at it and go, well, is he actually going to dominate from here? The reason he's got a lower break-even in the mid-20s is because he's averaging 7.8 points ahead of where he's priced at. So he's definitely not someone you have to sell. He's getting lots of attacking stats. He's had 2 tries. He's had 2 try assists. He is the goal kicker in this side, and he kicks them pretty well. Errors last week was his problem. Kicking the footy a little bit, running near 100 metres every game. Tackles are fine. Easily a guy that you can hold this week, but if you want to sell, I completely understand that setup as well. For Sandon Smith at 380k, and thankfully he doesn't go up against Latrell. So I think the left-hand side, he's probably going to go a little try assist for Crichton this week after Campbell stole that one. Thank you for that one, Sandon. I appreciate the try assist, but yeah, a hold or a sell is completely fine. I want to mention Jack Howarth. He's on the sell list as well. 60, looked incredible against the Eels. Still looked really good against Panthers, but didn't work out perfectly. And then 3 missed tackles, 16 made against the Dragons in the wet. No tackle breaks in this one. I expect he goes back to a better score across the next few weeks, and they have one of the best runs available. So Jack Howarth, he's someone that I have on my radar over the next few weeks. Probably that Dolphins clash is where I'd be looking at him. What's he going to be? Yeah, on that left-hand side against the Bunnies is fine. So might be able to get him under 450k, which is lovely. I think he's a 45 guy this year, and it's just been a bit of a slow start in round, their last 2 rounds. So I think he's an easy hold. Things are going to get good for him over the next bunch of weeks, and the team will continue to play better as well. AJ Brimson, 441k. I've got him higher on the sell list than Jack Howarth. It's not even close. Yes, his average at 5/8 has been great across his last few years, but this year, it doesn't look good at all. He's averaging 31.3, even with that 49 in there. Fitness-wise, doesn't look his best. He's kicking a little bit, averaging sort of a tick over 100 there at 110 or something like that. And has a 13 in him and has lots of missed tackles at the moment. He hit and stick pretty well on the weekend and still missed 3 tackles. Had an error and scored 2 tries, had a line break and only picked up 49. This is the way with Brimson, and he does come into a decent string of games, but from a fantasy perspective, the base stats aren't good enough for him right now at 6. Running the footy a little bit, but needing to run more. He's not looking to offload. When they send it left, he's just dishing it off. Pass. And not even in good ball. It's just, get it to the outside backs out there, and he's not the one running the footy. And if he doesn't score tries here, I'm worried for his scoring. I think it could be low this week, and that's where the slight stressor is. With AJ Brimson at 441k. Yeah, not super ideal there. For AJ this week, could be sold, could be held. All of the options are fine, and you can do what you please on that one. With AJ the Great not looking so great this year. 4 more to go, guys. Adam Doueihi at 508k. Looks like he's going to play this week, but at 508k, the draw becomes a little bit more tough over the next few with Broncos and Newcastle. He was scoring well, 43, 50, and 35 against some lesser opponents. Does he go straight back to the goal kicking? Probably, although it was a groin issue in the end. He's priced at 38. Can you see him averaging 45 longer term? Potentially. Do you want to sell him for a cheaper centre like Katonga or something like that? That's fine too. He'll be solid this season. Will he be incredible? I don't think so at centre. They've got guys that can come in and play 6 and 7, so he's not going to get that spot. So if you're not worried about the injury by any stretch, then you could sell him. He's owned by a very low percentage of people, but I had to mention him because there's definitely some worries around him. Speaking of some worries, Munster at 575k, he's gone 53 into 32.39, so a tougher start from him. That left-hand side hasn't been perfect. Had a try assist taken away from him on the weekend. He's had no tries, no line breaks himself. Tackle numbers have been nice and high, 20 plus every week, but missing 5 the last 2. Kick meters aren't super high right now. That probably needs to increase a bit, and if we can get these run meters over 100, then we know we can have big games. And there's 90s and 100s in his game. Like you can see there, big high 50s games with a couple of try assists, good running, good offloads. The offload has basically been put away. Just a 2 in 3 weeks so far. We know that can improve. The run's really nice. I think you can easily hold him until Origin. And if he goes poor again, then maybe you can sell. But I think he's an easy hold this week. Just to decide. Jack Bird at 349k. He's the guy that you should sell. I would go him to any of those cheapies that we discussed in the previous video. They can all do a good job. But someone like Katonga at 29k cheaper should perform better than Jack Bird. High score of 30 this year. He needs to be sold. And then Emre Gula, the last one on the list at 454k. He misses the next 3 weeks, so he's definitely a sell. There was a bit of thought that maybe you can hold on, but he went back to some poor PPM in last game, and unfortunately, he's gone for the 3 weeks. So make sure he's out of your side. We'll leave it there, guys. That's the holds and the sell heading into round 5. Plenty of different ways you can go about this week. I'm still not personally sold on how I'm going to play this one. As I said, plenty of ways to go about it. What are you going to do? What are you thinking? Please make sure you go back and watch the buys video before you say, oh, should I sell Brimson to Katonga? Yeah, for sure. You can decide what you play. And I think he can be held with the lower break even, but you can sell him as well. Make it a personal choice for you. Should have all the information now. As I said in the Team List Tuesday, come into this, get your extra information, do your little bit of research, and hopefully this video can help decide that for you, and then you can just go boom and make it your own as well. There's no point coming here and just getting my straight up advice. I'm not going to give you a certain play that you have to get unless it's Jamie Humphries in round 1 or 2, definitely Terrell May, these kind of guys. I give you the advice, you make the decision, live with it, because we're having a few people reach out and say, oh, I followed you with this pick and it didn't work. Yeah, I'm not a mind reader. It is footy and there's injuries and different things can happen. It's a sport. And so I'm dealing with the problem as well. Don't need to pile on with your own worries about that. If you just followed me for that, you can make your decision as well. Always have to throw those caveats in there every couple of times a year, because especially in the early part of the year, they come out and they seem to die off in the back end. But yeah, that's that one, guys. Thanks so much for joining in, and we'll catch you in the next video from myself, which will be going through some teams and some questions from the private crew. If you want to jump in there, all the info is in the description. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow along in the podcast, and leave a review as well. It's always best. Apple, Spotify, appreciate it. And we'll catch you in the next video.